Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cartoon Casters. This is episode 2, and I'm Mike, and playing the harmonic is Zach.
Hi,
Hey, that's him.
I'm Zach.
He's Zach, and I'm Mike, and I've said that already.
Welcome to Cartoon Casters, everyone.
Yeah, the podcast about animation. Two animators talking about stuff in the industry, their opinions on things, and a bunch of other junk.
Yes. First off, Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing okay. It's a normal day for me, really. You know, Thursdays are usually pretty good days. So
Thursdays, otherwise known as pre-Friday or Friday's Eve or Weekend's Eve's Eve.
Friday's Eve?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before in my life.
I think I might have said it like a while back and then like just remembered it now.
Oh, nice callback, man.
Thanks, dude.
Sick. Yeah, I don't know. My day's okay, I guess. You know, work day is regular. Go to the gym for a little bit, and you know, here we are now. What about you? How about you, Zach?
Let's see. Well, I woke up at 9 today.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I took a shower. I left the house.
Wow.
I worked. And now I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a fun life I lead.
It's really good. Nice. Sick, man. That's really good, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, you know, day's a regular day. I'm just glad the weekend's almost here and I get to sit down and play a video game and, you know, just kind of maybe draw a bit.
Yes.
I don't know what your plans are, but...
I don't know. I might just chill out, look at my socks for a while.
Yeah, socks are pretty interesting.
Oh, well, I do need to like get my PS4 fixed because like I'll turn it on and like it turns on, but like there's no like picture on my screen.
You actually have the worst luck with that. Like I don't know what the hell happened, but like
I don't know.
Like the PS4 turns on, it functions.
Yeah.
But no matter what HDMI he uses, supposedly, you can't see the console on the screen. There's no display. There's no signal.
Yeah.
So
and like I've tried multiple cords. I've tried multiple TVs. So someone actually like opened up the top panel and like fiddled around with like the stuff inside of it.
Wait, did somebody do that?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you go for that?
Well, I mean, like someone came over.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I mean, like, and it worked that one time. But then I turned it off, and then I want to do it again.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna check it out and see if I can get it fixed.
Yeah, dude, this really sucks because like I know you were just as excited as I am for Sonic Mania.
Yes. And
it really sucks that you haven't been able to play it yet because I've been able to play it recently, and I've been really fucking enjoying it.
I know it's so painful knowing that like everyone else.
No, I actually feel really like that's so bad.
I know, like God, because I mean, like even like Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor from Game Grumps, like who pretty much hates every Sonic game ever made.
Even he has
even
he
likes this game. And
yeah.
Oh God. But, you know, my time will come. Eventually I will play it.
Yeah, no, and dude, you will love it. You'll love it.
I can't wait.
Damn it. Speaking of which, I can't really talk about spoiler stuff because old Zach here hasn't played Sonic Mania. But I would like to take a section of this podcast to talk a little bit about what I feel about it.
Okay. Yeah.
As you all know, or maybe don't know, I've been super hyped for this game, and I'd like to consider myself a pretty big Sonic fan. I haven't felt this hyped for Sonic, though, as a franchise before Sonic Mania got revealed. Once that got revealed, my interest of the series grew back again. And, like, all that hype, over a year buildup of hype, and it was all worth it. And
yeah, definitely.
It was totally met. There is one thing we can talk about, though, because you've seen it. The intro for Sonic Mania.
Yeah, like, I was gonna wait until I play the game for the first time.
Yeah.
But that's not gonna happen for a while. And we're also doing this podcast today, so I figured I might as well check it out. And
what did you think of the beautiful animation?
It was gorgeous.
Yes, it
was fantastic.
Seriously.
I loved it.
Like, I think it was Studio Yada doing the cleanup and some animation.
That's right.
And then Tyson Hess did a lot of the rough animation. I think that's what I've heard. If not, someone correct me. But regardless, I was like, I had like a smile ear to ear.
Yeah,
like, watching that.
I smiled while watching it too. Like, God, it was
like everything about it was perfect.
It was
like,
beautiful, yeah.
Like the Hyper Potions like music for that is I love Hyper Potions work for like Sonic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I should listen to their other content. I know they have more.
I should check them out. Yeah.
But like I really love what they did for the intro. I felt like it had this. It was like Sonic-ish, but also kind of a more modern take. It's like nostalgic, but also modern. It's a weird like it just had that feeling of that light bouncy feeling that really matched the animation.
Totally.
And like the animation itself was just full of character, right?
Yeah, it was really great to see how much personality was put into like all the characters
with no dialogue.
With no dialogue,
Nothing.
It really
not a bit of dialogue.
It really goes to show you that character acting, miming, facial expressions,
that stuff all matters.
That
could you believe it?
That really makes a difference. Hey, who would have thought that you don't have to talk to have a good character?
Yeah.
You know?
No, totally. In fact, personally, I actually like Sonic better when he doesn't talk, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that thinks that way.
Yeah, like it's definitely better than whoa, Eggman, you're fatter than usual today. Whoa.
Although to be honest, I do like Sonic's new voice they gave him. I feel like under the right writing, it could really work super well.
Are you talking about the voice that's in like Sonic Boom and
yeah.
Onward? Okay,
that's right. I like it. Actually,
it's not bad.
I watched a bit of Sonic Boom, and I actually did enjoy his performance in Sonic Boom. Like, for real, I actually did.
Yeah, I will definitely,
because it doesn't like force out the too cool for school attitude. Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah, definitely. I will definitely say that the actor for the new Sonic, like, he definitely has way more range than what was the name of the previous guy?
Jason Griffith.
Jason Griffith. Yeah.
Like, I feel like Jason Griffith's voice like matched Sonic really well.
Yeah, definitely.
But I feel like he didn't like emote enough a little bit. I guess is kind of what I felt.
Mm-hmm. I think it might have had something to do with the direction.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've got no doubts he's talented.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, because like Sonic Boom, it felt like a totally different like IP altogether.
I mean, it was. That was the whole idea.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, sure.
That
was what they were going for.
It was supposed to be a franchise for the younger audience, which is odd because Sonic is supposed to be a family-centric thing anyways.
I always thought of him as just, that's Sonic.
Yeah, right.
You know,
like
I never really thought of like what he could be attributed to. You know, like this, like Sonic is for ages 8 to 12. I just thought, it's just has hard.
Well, nobody like really like. I never thought of Sonic that way. I mean, obviously, it's not like grimdark Call of Duty.
Oh, you mean like Sonic Forces?
Sonic. Well, I mean, at the very least, the tone of the dialogue when Sonic is actually talking doesn't feel really edgy.
It's not like gruff or anything. Like...
No, it's not. I don't think the game's going to take itself as seriously as we're thinking it will. I hope not.
That remains to be seen.
Yeah. Well, apparently this week they're supposed to reveal something new for Forces.
Huh? What?
Apparently soon they're supposed to be revealing some more things for Forces. Now that Sonic Mania is out, they can like talk more about Forces. So hopefully we get to see more than just the first level.
Yes.
Then we could see more of what it has in store. But back to Mania though. We're talking about miming and like acting in the animation. I feel like that intro perfectly like captured the characters. In fact, they captured the characters better than anything else.
The only thing that I can actually compare, two things that I compare this to animation wise is the opening to Sonic CD, obviously,
of course,
and the Sonic OVA.
Yes, I was about to say that too.
Yeah.
Okay, I love the Sonic OVA.
By the way, back to what you were saying before about like you liked Sonic better when he wasn't talking.
Yeah.
The Sonic OVA was great because they used Sonic's lines sparingly, right? He didn't really talk that much, but he talked when it mattered. You know.
Well, not only that, but I feel like the dialogue. I like the dialogue a little bit more in the OVA.
Yeah, he was an asshole, and like
he really was.
That's great.
Like the whole "Shut up, Tails" line in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like Tails was just like, you know, with his kind of nasally voice, just like, "Well, I'm gonna ride my bodyboard," and he's like yelling.
Hey, Sonic, you want to watch me ride my bodyboard?
Shut up, Tails! You know.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm gonna sleep now.
I'm gonna
shut up, Tails.
I'm gonna sleep with my glasses on.
Yeah, no, that was good shit. And like the old man like came crashing down onto the island.
Oh yeah,
like
the weird like
inferno.
owl thing.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Sonic, the president wants you. The president, like
yeah, there's a president.
It was
now.
So weird. Like,
well, yeah, the Sonic. You can tell Sonic OVA was like they just had their own ideas for the.
They were filling in a lot of holes.
But to be honest, though, I liked what they did. I liked the world.
I didn't mind it either.
Sarah was a weird character, though.
Yeah, because like clearly they were like they needed to make her a little bit more human to make her, of course, more sexually, attractive. But like she still had that monkey tail, and like
it was. I don't know. She was just odd. I mean, I didn't mind her. It was just really weird.
Yeah.
And again, there's a lot of things there.
There were a lot of weird things in that movie.
The weird president guy was also... His design was really odd if you look at it. Like, compared to the rest of the Sonic characters, it was...
Yeah. It didn't really fit as much, but I actually liked it a lot.
I did too. I mean, yeah, for sure.
I also really liked Eggman's character in that one as well.
Yeah. He was like... He was a bastard, but he was really funny.
Yeah. Hey, Sonic, or he's talking to Sarah and he's like, one day you and I are going to get married and we're going to have lots of beautiful children together.
Oh, God. And then it shows the Eggman babies.
Wouldn't you like that, Sarah? Yeah.
God, fucking Eggman is creepy.
Yeah, he's a creepy fuck.
I mean, we really expect this big round guy with, like, he makes robots out of animals.
Yeah, he spends, like, all of his time working in his life.
I'm going to make a pig bot. Okay, chicken, on you go, in the bot.
I'm going to make a sphere that has 2 pincers coming out of it. I'm going to call it... Shit, what was it called?
Wait, which one? A sphere with 2 pincers?
Yeah, it looks like the little bug. I know that it has a name for it. I can't remember. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like,
I'm going to make a ball with eyes with other balls surrounding it. The Orbinaut. Yeah, it's great.
That will kill my arch rival. If he squirms at him, maybe that will slow him down a bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's great.
Yeah,
but back to the topic real quick though. Yeah, so made his intro. It's got great personality. The animation is just fantastic. I love Tyson Hess's like designs. God, for the characters now,
they're beautiful.
It's the perfect modernization of a classic look.
It absolutely is.
And like I feel like what Sonic Mania and that intro in general captures is what Mario has been capturing for years. Because like a lot of the time you look at Sonic and people are like, oh, he's a character from the 90s. He's a staple of that era.
Right.
However, to me, classic Sonic, especially in that intro, and even Sonic CD, has that timeless quality that Mario has where... Yeah, he's cool. He's got a bit of an attitude, but it's not like, he's not skateboarding and down the he's not. He doesn't have all that like edgy '90s to it.
Yeah, he was original. Like we talked about this last night. Like Sonic's whole attitude was like, hurry up, right? Like I can't get there fast enough. To the point where like if you like put the controller down and didn't do anything
for like 10 minutes,
yeah, he'd like jump off the stage and kill himself.
I don't think people interpret it as him killing himself. This is in Sonic CD. I gotta let the audience know
you're losing a life, but
yeah, well, it's true. In Sonic CD, if you put the controller down for 10 whole minutes, I think it was 10 minutes, or was it 1 minute? It might have been a minute.
I think it was a minute. Yeah.
It was a minute. If you put the controller down for a minute, Sonic will say, I'm out of here, and he'll jump off screen.
But before he did that, he would like...
No, you get a game over when he does that.
Wait, really?
I think you get a game over.
I don't think so.
He leaves. You get a game over. Sonic's like, bye.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I'm not kidding.
Okay. Well, like, before that, like, he like, puts his hands on his hips and he, like, looks at the camera. I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
That's just cool. Like, this is cool, fun little stuff.
Dude, and if you like that stuff, Sonic Mania has way more than that. Not just in the intro.
Oh, yeah?
It's just... Everything about Mania is, like, captured perfectly. I will say to you, for one, the level design is the best in the classic series.
Yeah.
Like, in Mania.
Well,
and
from what I saw, I mean...
You when you play it, it's ingenious. Like...
Okay.
You know, like, how in a lot of Sonic games, it's really awesome, but... There's certain levels that are really slow, certain levels that... This game cuts a lot of that, and what you are left with is like a perfect blend of platforming and speed.
Cool.
And it's just super fun and like fun to go through. The gimmicks in each level are super inventive. The remixes in the levels a lot of it are really surprising, and the actual original levels themselves, they're just brilliant. In fact, the next classic Sonic game we get, if we're going to get Christian Whitehead and Pagoda West to work on it, and all those people, I would love it to be all original zones. I don't even mind if it's only 7 zones, not 12. But all original Sonic zones would be just brilliant because their ideas are so fucking good.
Cool. Yeah, like, so I remember, like when we were waiting for this to come out, like, we would watch, like, gameplay videos. And, like, the two that stick out to me the most are... what was it, like Studiopolis, and like one of them that was like the Wild West.
Oh yeah, Mirage Saloon.
Yeah. Mirage Saloon, like that looked fucking brilliant to me.
It was.
It just looked like so much fun, like spinning around on bar stools, going into giant guns and stuff.
The giant gun stuff is what really got me. I'm like, holy shit! Is this giant fucking floating glove hand, and he just shoots you across the level?
That's awesome.
It is. It's really smart.
Yeah.
Wait until you see Studiopolis Act 2. Because you only saw the first one.
Oh, okay.
You did not see the second. And also wait till
gorgeous.
Also, there's another original level called Press Garden. I won't tell you much about it, but that level is... The music is probably some of the best music in the game. And also, visually, it's just fucking... It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But overall... on the boss battles. Don't get me started on those. Classic Sonic's boss battles have always been kind of whatever. Like, I always thought those were the weaker part of classic Sonic games. You hit Robotnik, and he floats around, he shoots something at you a little bit. That was most of them. Not all of them, mind you. Three Knuckles had a few pretty cool ones, but in this game, they're so fucking smart and creative. Like, the bosses are actually some of the highlights in this game, and that's usually not...
Wow.
Yeah, and that's usually not how classic Sonic games are, but...
It's just like Dark Souls.
Because it's... Wait, why?
Because the bosses are so cool.
No.
I can't wait for the boss fights. Dark Souls.
No, you're mixing it up. Crash Bandicoot is the new Dark Souls.
Because it's so hard?
Yeah. That was the thing for a while.
Yeah, that's
a few like review sites were like, "It's so hard. It's a new Dark Souls." And I mean, granted, I grew up with Crash Bandicoot, so maybe was it
not as hard for you, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, come on, it's not that bad.
Mike, would you say that Sonic Mania is like Dark Souls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Dark Souls, everybody.
Also,
it's a Dark Souls of 2D super fast, speedy hedgehog platform.
It's like that one monster in Dark Souls. Like, it's the wolf with the giant sword. It'll just be like Sonic running around with a giant sword. Oh wait, had that already
happened.
It happened already.
It's Sonic and the big sword.
Sonic and the chainmail links.
Sonic in the library. He goes into magic books.
Okay then.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to say about Sonic Mania. I can get into detail, but that'd be spoiling you on it.
All right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm gonna fix up my PS4, see what's up with that, and then I'll be on it.
Good.
I'll be on it.
And I want to watch you experience a lot of it because
yeah,
I get a lot of joy out of seeing people's first experiences of things.
Yeah, dude, just come over and we'll play Sonic Mania.
Dude, yeah, fix your PS4.
I will.
Awesome.
This weekend.
All right.
Yeah, another thing that I'm looking forward to as a result fixing my PS4 is that I'll finally get to play Infamous Second Son again.
I never played that one.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, you have a PS4, right? So, like...
I do, yeah.
Dude, if you want, you can borrow it. It's...
You know, maybe I will eventually. I won't right now, because I've got a bunch of games I still have to play.
Right, Shantae, I know. But,
I don't only play Shantae. Fuck.
But,
God damn it.
But, for real, though, like Infamous Second Son, God, like, if you really allow yourself to get absorbed into it, like, you really do get the feeling of, like, having superpowers and running around buildings and...
Yeah, well, I felt that same way about the first two Infamous games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I was a teenager when I played those. I had them on PS3, but those are real great games.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're masterpieces. But, like, in this one, I wouldn't say that the story is as strong as the first.
I wasn't expecting it to be.
But the powers are a lot more fun. Because, first of all, you get 4 powers. Was it 4 powers? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you get 4 powers instead of just 1.
Okay.
And, like, each power is, like, different from the other. And, like, they're a lot of fun just getting around the city and doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Hey, speaking of superheroes, I've been watching Daredevil lately.
You've been watching Deadpool lately? It's a good show.
I haven't... Oh, God, wouldn't it be so cool if Deadpool was a show?
I mean, that would work really well.
Netflix, put Deadpool as a show.
I don't think that's Netflix's call.
They did, like, a bunch of other stuff. All they have to do is have a conversation with Ryan Reynolds and boom. We have a Deadpool show.
You think he'd be doing a TV show? Or he's like a movie.
Yeah, I don't think he'd do that, but it's fun to think about.
Yeah, it is. But anyways, no, continue on. What were you actually going to say that you watched?
Yeah, I lately I've been watching Daredevil, and it's a pretty solid superhero show.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay. Well, so like I recently just started the second season. I haven't really gotten that far into it. Second season deals with the Punisher, and we just now met Elektra, so that's pretty cool. We're getting into like some serious shit, but the first season, goodness gracious, talk about a well balanced season.
Why?
Okay, so God, like how do I put my thoughts in order? So like. I don't know. The first of all, the first episode, it starts with Matthew Murdock, and he's in confession because he's a Catholic, and he's talking to the priest, and he's like, "Bless me, Father," for I have sinned, and then the father's like, "So like, what have you done?" And Matthew's like, "It's not what I have done; it's what I'm about to do," and then it like. Smash cuts to like him like in his like pre-Daredevil like garb, just like beating up bad guys. Like that's just fucking cool.
That reminds you of Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, because like Peter Parker, he starts off with this like kind of handmade,
right,
like Spider-Man suit that looks really terrible.
Yeah, and like first of all, like Daredevil's like original suit, like it looked cool. Like it's just like a black shirt and like a mask pulled over his face.
Oh, okay.
It's not really visually impressive, but I don't know. It's still kind of cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole season, it felt like when you're watching like a really good movie, how like it starts off strong and it introduces the characters in a very powerful way, in a very meaningful way, and then like. It has its low points where like like the main characters like they like really bad shit happens and then they rise up over it and overcome it. Like that's what the first season of Daredevil does, without really getting too much into it. But like I don't know,
good interjectory season.
It was really good, and like it actually held my attention, which is hard for shows to do. Like I watched Luke Cage for a little bit, and
I remember I was watching a little bit with you one time. You're watching, and I saw an episode, and it was a show. Yeah,
it was okay. I watched Iron Fist and was kind of disappointed. I haven't watched that since.
Wait, was it Iron Fist I saw with you, or was I don't? Which one was the one where there's a bunch of office talk?
Oh, that was Iron Fist.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's the one I saw with you.
Yeah, I think that you basically summed up that show.
Oh, does it continue with that?
I don't know, but like from like what I saw at first, that was it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but as far as Daredevil goes, like I think the strongest character like in the first season was definitely the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. There's a scene that focuses on him, or sorry, there's an episode where it focuses on him and his backstory. And he's getting ready to start his day. He wakes up from like a bad dream, and he makes his breakfast. He gets his clothes on, and he looks in the mirror. And instead of his reflection, you see his 12-year-old self staring at him, and he's covered in blood. And like, and there's like a hard like, damn, like.
Oh, is that a jump scare?
Not really. It's more of just like, what the fuck, kind of a deal, right?
Oh, I see.
And then, and God, that shot, because it's fucking beautiful. I don't know, like the thing that Daredevil got right, as far as I'm concerned, is they brought the characters down to a much more human level, which I think is absolutely imperative for like superhero films. I don't know.
Well, like to relate a little bit more, right? Cause,
yeah, of course.
Like you can't really relate too much with Superman, can you? I mean, you're not supposed to relate to him, really.
Here's the thing: is that like Superman is supposed to be a model for citizens.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
Well,
he's like the standard we want to be.
Exactly.
But he's not relatable. Like, I mean, he's a good guy, you know. He's a good guy. He does well. You know, other people want to be like that. And I mean, I'm talking about mostly the classic view of him. Yeah. Not what Man of Steel did. But.
Well, I suppose you can probably relate to Superman because Superman has he has a sense of duty, and when he fails what he feels like he's supposed to do, he is devastated. So,
that's true, but I mean, I think that most people could feel that way about things.
Yeah, exactly. No
one likes failure.
Well,
you know?
right. I mean,
especially if you if you got a lot of shit on the line and it's heavy, and I can imagine that would be kind of, that could be relatable, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, yeah, like something like apparently Daredevil, as you said, was more relatable than that. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, was there any particular show that you've seen where there were characters in it that like you felt so strongly towards, or that you really felt you connected with?
I mean, there's a lot of shows I can name. Like, I'm trying to pick one, Well, okay. A show that I really hate to relate myself to, but I do. BoJack Horseman is one. Okay. And I feel like that one is an incredible example of shows that are of like characters that you can just kind of you can relate to and you can understand them.
Yeah, definitely.
But like you don't want to understand them,
right?
Especially the main character BoJack.
Yep.
Because like I can totally relate to BoJack because like he's this character, he's this guy that technically is successful. He has everything he ever wanted in the world, yet for some reason he still hasn't found happiness, and like he found out through. By the way, spoilers to BoJack. By the way,
yeah.
Before I continue on, in fact. We should probably start. We should start every podcast saying that there's going to be spoilers for things.
I guess.
I definitely think so, or at the very least in the description.
Probably yes.
Yeah. All right. Bear with us, guys. Don't worry. I'll put a word on it.
Maybe leave some timestamps or something.
Yeah, I'll put a timestamp. But anyways, so yeah, with BoJack, it's like, he has everything in the world. Technically, he's made it in a sense, right?
Yeah.
He's technically famous, but like. The saddest thing and the most ironic thing is he's like the lowest tier of being famous.
Yeah.
Because he starred in one
It was just
show.
one show.
It was one show.
Yeah.
And then he shit the bed on his career. And a lot of that is because it's mostly self-destruction because he wants people to like him. He doesn't like himself. So he's like kind of this self-destructive, person that tries his best to find happiness, yet he
He destroys his own happiness.
He destroys his own happiness, and he thinks he knows he does, but he doesn't see clear enough to know what he does specifically to stop that. And in ways I can kind of relate, because a lot of the time, it's like, I kind of feel that sense of like, oh man, like always wanting to be liked. It's like, you always think about like how other people perceive you, and I'm sure a lot of people feel this way. And it's like, and in that sense, I could definitely relate to him. But like, you don't really want to, because he does a lot of awful shit.
Yeah, totally.
And like every time he does something awful, you're like, Bojack, Jesus fucking Christ, man, Jesus Christ. Yet you still don't completely hate him, and I think that's why that show's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Which brings me back to Daredevil. So Wilson Fisk is like a horrible person. Like he's killed I don't know how many men.
Wait, Wilson Fisk, that's the
Kingpin and Daredevil.
Okay, yeah.
The main bad guy in the first season.
Okay.
By the way, I'm probably going to be spoiling Daredevil. I'm sorry.
I think I'm
going to try not to give away too much.
I think they know at this point we're going to be spoiling stuff.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, so he's killed like I don't know how many men. He even killed like. Do you care if I
don't give a shit.
Okay, all right. At age 12, he killed his own father to protect his mom.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's traumatic.
He struck him several times in the back of the head with a hammer.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't expect the show to be that dark.
I didn't expect it to be that dark either. But yeah,
it
goes to serious places. But anyways, yeah. So he's a killer. He's a liar. But the heart of it is he meets an artist named Vanessa.
Okay.
And he buys a painting off of her because this particular painting reminds him of the wall that his father used to make him look at as a kid. And it was the same wall that he looked at while his father was beating his mom.
Jesus Christ.
Before he killed him. So he feels a strong connection to that painting.
Yeah.
And just the wall in general. And as a result, he feels a strong connection to Vanessa. So eventually he asks her out. She goes on a date with him. And at first it doesn't go well. She goes out with him again. And there's a scene on the second date where they're talking and Wilson says like, do you have a piece on you? Like, did you bring a gun? And she says, yeah. Because, I mean, like, think about where we are. We're in Hell's Kitchen. It's the worst place in New York. And plus, after what I saw, like, with you last time, why wouldn't I bring it? And so they continue the conversation, and he tells her who he is and about his childhood. And as a result, she takes out her gun, puts it on the table, and he takes it and pockets it. She completely trusts him.
Wow.
And the relationship just spikes. And from that moment forward, Wilson Fisk only cares about her.
I mean, in a way, that's another example of like relating to somebody you don't want to relate to, and it's also
because there have been times in that show where like Daredevil will be like, I gotta take down Fisk, I gotta destroy Fisk, and everything ramps up and like he's running from the law and like Daredevil's beating the shit out of him. And in my mind, I'm like, I should be rooting for Daredevil right now. I should be like, yeah, get him. But part of me feels bad. And I know that I shouldn't. But at the heart of it, Wilson Fisk is a man that loves a woman. And he's still a kid on the inside. He's a scared little kid. And that's why he kills people.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's.
I mean, the little thing on the side that he kills people. Besides,
yeah, he kills people, but he loves a woman. He loves Vanessa.
No, but I mean, do you think that was done on purpose? You think?
Absolutely,
that was...
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And plus, Matt Murdock's character, it was developed, but his character was not as easy to relate to. As a kid, he was hit by a truck that was carrying a bunch of acid. The acid went into his eyes, leaving him blind, but also giving him powers. He basically has he has supersonic hearing. He can
sense things. His other senses are heightened.
Yeah, his other senses are remarkably heightened. So he can still technically quote unquote see. And he's a superhero and he like beats up bad guys and all that stuff. But besides that, there's really nothing much to him. He's just an angry guy that beats up people.
But he's a hero. He protects the spandex.
Yeah. But I don't know. I perhaps Daredevil is supposed to be a character similar to Superman, where he's supposed to be like above a certain standard. Because like I don't know that much about Daredevil, to be honest. But from what little I know, Daredevil acts within the law, because he's also a lawyer.
Okay.
And so, like, because of his knowledge of the law, he acts within it, and even though he's a vigilante, he doesn't go outside of any real boundaries, So, yeah. Whereas Wilson Fisk will do literally whatever it takes to protect his ideals.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, that's the difference, right? Like, one's off the rails, one isn't,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I feel like that's a lot of the difference between a villain and a hero, where a villain could have a villain could have good intentions, but the means of getting there could be pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of that has to do with in fact, some of the most interesting villains are villains that have like goals that you can relate to, yet it's the means of how they get to that goal that you put under a lot of question that is morally wrong.
Definitely. Like George R.R. Martin, like the writer of Game of Thrones, he said that like the best villains are the ones that they think that they're the heroes.
Well, yeah, because nobody. Except if it's like a super cheesy, like cartoony cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
No villain's like, yes, I love being evil. Like no bad person is like,
I'm gonna take a hammer and blow up and like destroy this city.
Oh, Daredevil, I'm the clock. I will destroy all clocks in the city so that nobody knows the time.
But wait.
Everyone will be late for work.
I will remove the elastic from your socks so they'll fall down.
And you'll have embarrassing heels. Oh no, my heels are showing.
When you cross your legs and your pants go up, you'll look like an idiot because of me. The sock.
The sock. What if you call him like the sook?
The sook?
I am the sook. I remove elastic from sock.
Yes, hello, I am the sook.
I am the sook.
I remove your elastic.
Hey, give me your sock while I take it off.
I believe you have my sock.
I believe I ate your sock.
I eat your sock too.
But yeah, no villain does that. No one,
a lot of villains do that.
What, eat socks?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But like, Skeletor from He-Man, he's that kind of villain.
But that's what I mean, though.
Skeletor just wants to fuck with
He-Man!
I'm going to take Castle Grayskull, He-Man.
I'm going to ruin your dinner, He-Man.
I'm going to watch you in the shower, He-Man.
Wow, I'm sweating over my skull somehow.
He-Man.
Well, speaking... Hey, don't look in my... How does he sound like? How does He-Man sound like?
He has a gentle yet very powerful voice.
Don't do drugs.
My name is Adam. I was a normal prince of the Castle Grayskull.
Of the Castle Grayskull.
I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is that he has a magic sword.
Isn't Castle Grayskull like Skeletor's?
Well, he calls upon the power of Castle Grayskull.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh. Because I thought Skull and Skeletor that would go hand in hand.
Yeah, you'd think that. I don't know.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I watched that show. I'm not an expert.
Oh, well, okay. Well, anyhow.
I'm sorry, everyone.
No, it is fine.
Sorry, everybody.
Talking about all these superheroes and all that stuff, talking about stories in general. I've actually been thinking about this lately. Um, I've been reading a few more graphic novels and manga lately.
Cool.
And that's not something I usually do. Not because I don't like it, but because, I don't know, I just didn't really think about putting time into it. But recently, a friend of mine, he, you know him too, Frankie, he lent me...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He lent me one of his graphic novels. And I started reading it. And, like, the guy reads so many graphic novels and comics.
He's like a human encyclopedia.
Dude, he knows everything about the most, like, hidden...
Yeah.
Like underground like comics nobody's heard of. Like
yeah.
Like he'll be like, "Hey, have you heard of this?" I'm like, "No, what?" It's a story about how Cheesecake roam the earth and walk on 5 legs. I don't fucking know. But he gave me a comic recently and I started reading it and I really enjoyed it.
Was it the cheesecake with the 5 legs?
It was that. No. It was called Helter Skelter, Fashion Unfriendly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird name, and it's this Japanese graphic novel.
Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter. I forgot what that actually means. There's a meaning to that phrase, but whatever. So basically, this comic is about this model in Japan, and she's like super famous, and everybody loves her, and like she's super successful. However, the reason why she looks so good, and without spoiling too much, the reason why she's so famous is because she did these like crazy underground like kind of illegal surgeries on herself.
Oh my!
And her mother kind of put her to do that, and she kind of went through all that. However, so she's super beautiful. However, the downside to that surgery is she slowly starts to deteriorate.
Oh.
And she slowly it's actually a really fucking dark story.
Damn, dude.
And like the thing is though is that the comic manages to be incredibly interesting, yet almost every character in it is absolutely awful. Like the main character is super irredeemable. Like she is awful.
Oh.
Yeah, and like you get to see this downward spiral of this like diva that just goes from being super crazy successful to zero to this big controversial like joke essentially.
Mm-hmm.
However, she's still famous just for different reasons. But like so I was reading that and it was pretty good. It was really really dark and hard to read a lot of the time, and it got me thinking specifically like how different graphic novels are in comparison to watching a show.
Yeah.
And how those two things relate. Like how would you compare the two experiences from each other, because like it is a bit of a different experience, yet it's similar in a way that you wouldn't expect. Like I don't know, like you've read graphic novels before, right?
Yeah.
Comics and all that stuff.
Oh man. So let's see. Last year, I think it was last year, I went on this journey through media to try and get a little bit of more of a perspective of like myself and about just people in general.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I did that was through the podcast Harmontown.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Harmon is like he's extremely influential for me. I think he's brilliant in a very twisted way. But
definitely,
he's a very very smart man, and he definitely understands people, and he's just an interesting guy, and he's really 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 fun to listen to.
I gotta listen to more Harmontown.
Yeah, you really should. It's a lot of fun, especially his D&D stuff. Like that stuff is awesome.
Nice.
But another book that I read, it was called Mega Hex.
Oh yeah, I read this too. You lent this.
That's right. I did lend it to you. Mega Hex is probably, it's probably one of the most powerful, like collection of comics I've ever read. Like, the people have told me that like it goes on beyond this book that I have, but what was within this book. By the way, all of you, check out Mega Hex. it's really intense. Like, be warned.
A lot of the time, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be funny or serious because it's.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. It's just it starts off and you kind of think, oh, it's this comedy about these group of losers, and then the more you go, it starts to feel less like that and more of this depressing look at these group of awful people that just all end up like they just all kind of hate themselves and they all have nothing better to be awful to each other and things start to break down a bit.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so to get into a little bit more, Megahex. Megahex is it's about this witch, very stereotypical witch. She's in her mid-20s, like us. Her name is Meg, and she has a cat, a black cat, who's her best friend, named, I think his name is Mog, and they just do everything together, and they're like constantly high all the time. So like every time you see them, their eyes are always pink.
Yeah, they're always stoned off.
They're always stoned, which says a lot about them.
Yeah,
they have a best friend named Owl, who I think they live with them,
and he's actually just an owl.
Yeah, he's literally just an owl, and the book has like a bunch of different other characters in there, but the main story is about the three of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Meg and Mog basically just care about themselves, and they care about their own personal, like, what can we do that'll entertain us, and so most of the time they'll end up like picking on Owl because Owl he's a loser, he's a knob, and so they just turn his life into a living hell, and at the end of the book he decides to leave.
Yep, he decides to leave, and they actually couldn't take it because they then realized that they fucked up royally.
Yeah, they realized just how shitty they were. But yeah, it was like at first. Yeah, I was with you. At first, I just thought it was funny because like the first episode or the first couple like chapters were just like really funny, quirky stories. Like there's one where Wolfman Joe, I think his name was.
And he's literally a wolf.
He's just a werewolf, yeah. He's the daredevil that wants to try to get everyone to like him. I think he's having a barbecue, and he's like, "Hey guys, do you dare me to like grate my balls?" And they're like, "Yeah, Wolfman Joe, do it." And he does it, and then like the next panel shows the ambulance taking him away, and like I'm watching this, I'm like, dude, this is fucking hilarious. And then like I'm reading it. And the book slowly starts to show you more about who these people really are. And the fact is that like even though like they're characterized as monsters, like deep down they actually are. Like Meg and Mog are like Meg not so much, but Mog is like a really like insufferable person who uses
it's almost people. A sociopath, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's one part where like he sexually like pretty much abuses her.
I don't remember that part.
Well, he takes advantage of her.
Oh, yeah.
But and it's really fucking sad to look at in the way that she responds to it. It's heartbreaking. But like after I was done reading it, I just closed the book and I just sat down and I'm like, shit, like. It kind of showed a little bit of a spotlight on me. I'm nowhere near like these people, of course, but
oh, you're not?
No, I've never graded my balls before.
Oh, it's pretty funny. You should.
Oh, cool. But I still felt like a really disgusting person, and
that's how BoJack makes you feel.
Yeah, it's weird to say, but I think it's important that you look at yourself and say, I can be really shitty sometimes.
Well, it's good to be self-aware,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I feel like if you had no self-awareness, that you'd probably be in blissful ignorance, and maybe in a way that's good, but at the same time, it probably isn't good that you're not really aware of anything you do, right?
I guess so, but allow me to follow up with my previous statement.
Sure.
It's important to know that you can do shitty things, or that you're capable of them, or that you have done them.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's important is so that you can learn from it and like apply it to the future and try to be a better person, right?
That's true.
Yeah, because that's really what it's all about, and like that's that's the importance of these stories, so that you can learn from them and compare it to your own mistakes and say like, okay, like how can I be better?
I mean, that's why it relates, right? Because like, while you can't like all the time relate to the specifics, you can relate to the feeling of that kind of situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it's like, oh man, I can kind of see how that would relate to me in the sense of something similar that would have happened to me earlier in my life, and then you kind of introspect a lot, like yeah, for sure. It's definitely like a thinker, and I feel like that one is kind of similar. I didn't relate to Megahex as much as you did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it for what it was. I thought it was really interesting, but it definitely struck a chord with you, I think, a bit more than me, which is fine.
Probably, yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But like, the question I have to ask for you, it's slightly off topic to that, but it isn't in a sense. How would you feel that would relate? How would you feel the experience would be different if that was like animated instead of being?
Oh, if Megahex was animated?
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, it would have disturbed me far more.
You think so?
Far more. Yeah, because the thing about like reading a graphic novel is like, out of the corner of your eye, you can probably still see the next panel, and like you can get like an overall sense of what could happen.
That's true.
Not only that, but like when you're reading, it is within your own mind, and you're formulating the story within you. You're giving the characters voices. You're putting in the sound effects. You're creating that world as the author describes it, and as a result, there is a feeling of comfort because it's still technically your world, even though
that's a good way to look at it.
Even though the idea is given to you. However, when you're watching something,
it's not your world.
It's not your world.
You're just a viewer.
You're just a viewer, and they're providing everything for you, and everything is completely foreign and like really scary because like that world, that apartment, that shitty apartment that Megmog and Al live in, that's not a place you want to be in.
Well, no,
and you don't want to know those kinds of people. So
I mean, they definitely do exist.
Yeah, they definitely do, which
makes it even scarier.
Yeah, and also a lot more realistic.
Yeah,
but yeah, if I were to watch that, if Megahex was turned into a cartoon, first of all, I would absolutely watch it because I think that is brilliant. Art style, writing, everything. But I would be horribly, horribly uncomfortable, and I would have a feeling that I would need to take a shower afterwards. So.
Oh boy, man! Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. But like, yeah, what you said though that actually is something I wanted to bring up. You especially brought up a point where it's like, it's interesting how you say it's more uncomfortable when you're just watching it, and like how when you're reading a comic, you can see a little bit of what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So it does kind of give you a bit more breathing room.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just the limitation of the medium.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, you save the big reveal for like a one big page spread.
Yeah, which is also smart as far as writing goes. Like our old professor, Jim Zub. Hey, Jim Zub, if you're listening.
Hey, Jim Zub.
Hey. Like he's very honest and outgoing about his job, and on his website he might even provide like some scripts. And I noticed that like he's very specific about what should be shown on which page, so that like if it's hinted on the bottom right of the right page, like what's coming up, the next page is going to reveal the monster. And like that's just smart, right?
Well, it's also really startling. You turn, you're like, oh Jesus!
Yeah,
like,
that's really startling.
It's the equivalent of the shot, like just another shot, like just a cut to the fucking thing right there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, another thing about that you brought up that I thought was really cool was like how you said like, and it's true, when you're reading a graphic novel or a manga or a comic, you do kind of think about music and tone and even how characters talk, their performance, and it's all in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way that's actually kind of more rewarding to me personally, because like I don't know. It's really fun to imagine and kind of direct what you see on the page in your mind, and like also think about how like if I look at a panel and I feel like that's a generally dramatic panel or something that needs to build up like atmosphere, I'll hang on that a little bit more, think about it a bit more, and visualize it in my head.
That's what I'll do too.
Yeah. And like I always find that's something that's a bit more unique to that medium, as opposed to watching something. Granted, though, what you do miss in graphic novel is, of course, really good animation and really good directing.
Definitely.
Which obviously is the case, considering, it's not moving.
Right. What you said about like lingering on a panel or a page or something because of the feeling that it gives you. So my friend Emily, she's like my own personal library, and she'll tell me about what cool stuff to watch and what mangas or what graphic novels to read. But she lent me a book called Non Ba, written by Shigeru Mizuki, and it's a basically like an autobiography about his childhood growing up in Japan, and it's a really interesting and beautiful story. It focuses on his relationship with Non Ba, who is this very old woman who lives in the town, and she her husband passed away, so she had to basically work for them to earn a living and stuff like that. Like she had like cleaned and cooked and ran their baths and stuff, but she would, throughout the story, she would teach Shige about different spirits in Japanese lore, and throughout the comic, whether it's his imagination or not, he would run into these spirits and sometimes even form relationships with them, which was really cool. But a common theme that I noticed was his relationship with girls and women. Like he was never really close to his mom.
Yeah.
But he was close to Non Ba, and when the story opens, he has a very close friend who's a girl, and she dies.
Oh.
So after that, and this is the beauty of this writing, because like the writer Shigeru doesn't spend too much time on showing the mourning, because you already know how he's going to feel. Yeah,
you can already relate to that. It doesn't need to spell it out. Right?
They don't need to spell it out. You're right.
Yeah.
So like young Shige would see one of his brothers like talking with some girls, and he'd go up to him and go like, don't hang around with girls, they'll give you cooties, and walk away. And at first when I'm reading this, I'm like, well, that's kind of a dick move. But then it kind of hit me, and like, oh, like he lost a friend that was a girl. So like, he probably doesn't want the same pain to be felt by his friend and by his brother.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's kind of projecting that a little bit.
Yeah, and so throughout the story, 3 times, he meets girls and they're taken away from him somehow.
Shit, really?
Yeah. The last girl that he meets, and I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna give anything away because the ending is fucking beautiful and brilliant. But there's this girl that comes into town with this quote unquote family. They stay in a haunted house, and this little girl, she's probably 7 years old, and Shige is probably like 13. But she can apparently feel and even speak to spirits, which no one else really can. Not even Non Ba, and she can sense them and stuff. Shige can kind of sense spirits, but not as much. But this girl, she lost her mom a long time ago, and she can sense spirits. And there's this the story kind of ramps up to this one plot point where she needs to go away to a big city. I think it might be Tokyo. I'm not totally sure. No, it wasn't Tokyo, but she has to go away to a big city.
Yeah,
and it's for a very, very bad reason. And the result for her is not going to be good at all. She knows this,
Yeah.
And Shige has done everything in his power, as much as a 13-year-old boy can do, to stop it, but of course, it's in vain. So there's a scene where he's sitting on a canoe with her, and it's at night, and they're just talking, and Shige's like, "Are you really going to do this?" And she's like, "Yeah, like, there's really no choice for me." And they look up into the sky, and there's a star that's shining brighter than all the others. And the girl's talking to it, and she refers to it as her mom. And she's like, "Mom, are you sure? Are you sure that this is right for me?" And she goes, "You know what? I'm going to do it. You know, it's not going to be the best, but, you know, I talked to my mom, and it's okay, so I'm going to do it." And she leaves, and, like, Shige and Nononba are, like, crying and stuff. But, you know, later he gets a letter from her that says, like, "Don't worry about me, everything's fine." And, like, it's such a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I think in that case, I think it works better reading it as a graphic novel. Because there's that moment where she's speaking to her mom, and you can spend so much time on that.
Of course.
Because that's a fucking important moment. And, yeah, no. Nononba. Check it out. Y'all who are listening, read it. Nononba. Shigeru Mizuki. He's a fantastic writer. And you will learn a lot about Japanese history as a result of this, because he makes several references to different things in history.
That makes sense. The spirits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Probably come through different time periods. And...
Oh, yeah. This is way back. I want to say in the times of World War II. I might be wrong.
Wait, you mean like when this was... What?
When he was a child.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
Or somewhere before or after. I think it might have been before. But yeah, no, it's great.
That sounds beautiful.
It's awesome. Check it out.
Cool. Nice. I might do that after too, to be honest.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you know, it's essentially how it works, right? With but then again, though, animation does kind of work with like other things too, right? I mean, if there's a specific way that, like, you know, a director wants something to be very specifically, I feel that's where something,
yeah,
like a show or something would probably make more sense. Granted, the problems with animation is that it takes a crap ton of people,
yeah,
and a lot of money.
Yes, it does. Whereas with a graphic novel, like, any one of us can make a graphic novel if we wanted to. It's all a matter of dedication to it.
Yeah,
which is so hard to do.
Yeah. Actually, you know, that's kind of one of my goals, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I totally want to write, like, a webcomic graphic novel, any of that, but, you know.
Like, I wrote some that I wanted to be a graphic novel, too. And, like, I made the first page, and then I never made any more of it.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I think somewhere along the way I just either lost interest or moved on to something else or something. I don't know.
Oh, man.
But,
I mean, I did that too. I had a lot of false starts.
Yeah, but, you know, that's okay. Is you know.
I mean, you got to fail before you succeed, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the last thing I want to talk about with you, because we're running pretty long.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel that first episode we didn't introduce ourselves or talk about where we come from as artists. And
we were strangers to the many friends that were listening.
What?
Like, we were strangers to our listeners. A lot of them are friends.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, our people listening now are all friends, but, you know, hopefully that changes. Not that we don't like our friends listening. You guys are all great, but
you're okay.
Yeah, you're okay. In fact, you're not good.
Give me more money, then we will be better.
Sign up for our newsletter, and you'll receive it. You'll receive a fruit basket with every dollar you spend. So you'll have like 15 fruit baskets.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has a little piece of candy in it, and that one
I drilled a hole in an apple, and I put a Jolly Rancher on the inside of it, and then I closed up the hole.
Closed up the hole with what?
Another apple. A little piece from an apple.
Because I was gonna say, how do you apple stuffed apple?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick, yo.
I filled the apple core with a Jolly Rancher that tasted like green apple.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Fucking excellent. But yeah, so I feel that it'd be really cool if we talked about, you know, where we came from as artists real quick.
Who are we?
Who are we? Well, do you want to start or should I start?
Who are you, Mike?
Who am I? Well,
who are you?
Well, I guess I'll start about, like, you know, where I came from as an artist and why I decided I wanted to get into the animation industry to begin with.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people have very different stories. Some people, they start as late as like high school. Mm-hmm. Others, they don't figure it out till way later.
Yeah.
Others figure it out when they're really young.
Which is, you know...
all that is fine. It's just a journey of...
Exactly, because, like, that's something so interesting about all artists is that, like, no two artists are the same.
Yeah, well, I mean, no two people are the same, right?
Okay, yeah, all right, that was a dumb statement. But I mean, like, I don't know, each story is different, and, like, I always find it really interesting how each artist, like, comes into the industry. But, like, no matter where you start, it doesn't matter. As long as...
Oh, no, yeah, it doesn't matter at all, as long as you follow through and work hard.
As long as you follow through and you work hard and, like... yeah, whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry, continue.
No, dude, it's fine, man. Like, I, essentially, ever since I was a kid, I always loved video games. I always loved, like, anime, cartoons. That's all I would watch. So much so that I didn't really like a lot of live action stuff. There's a few things I liked, but I was very much into, like, that kind of media. So much so that, you know, I would obviously always... you know, draw from that. And ever since I was young, I would always enjoy drawing. Mm-hmm. I drew a lot of Crash Bandicoot. I drew a lot of Sonic. I drew a lot of that stuff. Mostly fan art, of course, as, you know, most kids do.
That's why Tumblr loves you.
Yeah, you're right. But, like, you know, I used to always, you know, draw that stuff. And basically, I just kept doing it. I kept drawing. I don't think I was ever any good, especially from all the way up to high school. I mean... the thing is, I would keep hitting the brick wall over and over again. None of my stuff, I think, ever looked good. But I feel, you know, that's every artist's, like, whole thing is nobody, especially when you're younger, you just want to be like those artists you look up to. And, you know, I just kept doing it until high school. And then I found out about animation school. And, you know, I went to Seneca after that, Seneca's animation program. And then here I am today, an animator for 2 years, which is bananas, like... And, you know, along the way, I feel like one of the main reasons I was able to come this far was a lot of the support I got from people that I loved and cared about, you know, like, you know, my parents, they were super supportive of me. Like, they, of course, my mom was a little scared because she's like, oh man, because, you know, you always hear about the whole starving artist thing and how artists don't make money. Guys, if you're in any sort of production, anything animation, even if you want to be a painter or other things, there's always room to make money. Don't believe that. Just whatever you want to do it because you enjoy it first.
Yeah.
You know, like, there might not always be easy, but, you know, you'll make a way if you really enjoy it, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
You know, so, like, my parents were super supportive. I even had, like, in elementary school, my elementary school principal, Miss Andrews, she's amazing, by the way. I don't know if she would ever listen to this, but if you're ever out there, thank you so much. You were amazing. She brought in for one lunch an animator, and, like, I was in grade 5 during this.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it was fucking really cool. And, like, she brought the whole light table set up, and
nice.
I learned how to do it's a very simple 4-frame walk cycle, run cycle.
Goodness.
And, of course, it was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Of course it was.
And, you know, it was really bad. But, like, just seeing that VHS that she sent to me way later and just seeing it moving had me just like, oh, man, I want to do this.
Cool.
And then from there, I just kept drawing, kept going, and here I am now. And that's basically my story. And now I want to make my... I want to make my own stories and characters and things that other people can enjoy, as I did when I was younger.
Definitely, yeah.
That's essentially me, but enough about that. What about you?
Well, we'll get to me in a second.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you is, how did you get into the industry?
Well, The way it worked for me was, I graduated and then I started sending my animation demo reel out as soon as I possibly could, as soon as I graduated. I kind of recommend, at least it worked for me, some people, well, if you're in animation college or university, make sure you have an idea of what you want to tailor your demo reel to before you graduate.
Yeah.
In fact, you want your demo reel, and it's hard because you have a lot of other shit during college. College is really hectic.
Yeah.
But try your best to get a demo reel with your best work done. I'd say before, after a month you graduate or a month and a half. Because, you don't want to sit on it forever.
Yeah.
Basically. And get it out to as many studios as you can. Keep emailing, keep sending it out. Because that's essentially what I did. I got my demo reel all put together. I was lucky enough to know that I wanted to get into animation as an animator. A lot of people, it takes a while for them to figure out if they want to be in design, if they want to be in storyboard.
Right.
I chose animation. And FYI, guys, if you start off an animator, you don't have to stick to that the rest of your life.
Oh, definitely not.
It translates to so many other things.
Absolutely.
So don't worry about being pigeonholed somewhere. That's not the case.
Yeah.
If you want to be anything else in the industry, it's very possible.
Yes.
But, so that's what I did, essentially. And I waited about 4 months. And I was lucky enough to only wait for 4 months. A lot of people that I knew weren't so lucky, and they waited a bit longer to get back. But, I got an email from 9 Story, the company I'm at now.
Cool.
They sent me an animation test. I did it. And then, I waited 2 weeks, and from what I remember, I followed up with them, I think a week later, and I asked them if they got it. They said they did. And then about a week or two later, I believe, they sent me a message, and they're like, here's the contract. You're hired. And I'm like, what? Because I was expecting an interview or anything like most jobs would do. But they're like, no, fill out this contract. Come in this day at this time. And that's when you get started. I'm like, holy shit. And I remember specifically, I was at the college at the time being so damn happy, telling a bunch of people, I got a job, yeah, fuck! Yeah. And it was like that really triumphant, great moment. It was the same moment, the same feeling I had when I first got accepted to Seneca's animation program in high school.
Yep.
I remember running in the halls doing the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was not expecting to get into that program. I was expecting to get into art fundamentals. Because I don't know how I got in, because I thought my work was absolute shit, but I got in. So
right on, man.
There you go, and that's how I did it. Also, if you guys are applying for jobs, don't be afraid to follow up within a week. I think don't constantly.
I would give it 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks, you think?
Yeah, I think 1 week is too soon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess no. For me, I think it depends on the situation.
Well, the thing is that
I feel like if you get an animation test finished, and then you send it back to them, I think a week is okay.
Yeah, definitely. But if you're, I don't know, if you're talking things over with someone, maybe it's a production manager or something like that, they gotta fill out paperwork. They gotta talk with other people.
Yeah.
It's a process, so it's important to respect that.
Okay, yeah. In terms of the context of you first applying, definitely wait 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. But once you already are in contact with them and you send them something,
then
a week is okay. Because a lot of the time they just don't see it because
they
get so many emails every day.
Oh, dude,
I can't imagine. My inbox at work is pretty crazy sometimes, and I'm an animator. I can't imagine what theirs looks like.
Yeah, it must be hectic as hell.
Yeah, but basically, don't be afraid to follow up. Just be very polite in your emails.
Yes,
especially when you're applying. Don't go into your email and be like, "Hey, man,
where's my fucking job?"
Yeah, don't do. I mean, a lot of people would say that.
Give me a milkshake.
Give me a milkshake with a side of fries.
Give me a milkshake with a side of. Give me my job.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah, he's sorry. I don't know why.
All right.
But that's essentially my 2 cents on the matter.
Okay, cool.
What about you, though, man? I've been talking about myself for a little while. What about you? How did you end up where you are now?
Well, let's see. So I've been animating since I was, God, how long has it been? Since I was probably 14 years old.
That's pretty impressive.
I guess. Thank you. My dad, he knew that I was interested in like drawing and cartoons and stuff. So he downloaded for me like this free 30-day trial of an early version of Toon Boom.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
This is well, I mean, like for us, like Toon Boom is the standard. It's like the best you can get. But like back then, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool, Toon Boom. So I did this really shitty animation of this like ninja character I made jumping up and down, and like as I was working on it, I was hooked. It was the only thing in this world that held my attention for longer than 30 seconds. So I didn't feel like this incredible fire. Like this is what I'm gonna do. I felt more like, oh, this is cool. I'd like to do more of it. And so my dad eventually got me Flash CS3. And I had no idea what I was doing. But my uncle, Bill Gusky, he's an artist, and he did animations for a company called Funny Bone that made like interactive games for kids.
Wait, did you tell me about this? Because that seems like news to me, actually.
Oh, I don't know. I might have said it.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I know. It was really cool. One of the games that I still remember that I deeply love. It's called The Fazoli's Go to the Beach. It's a fun little game. It'll take you 30 minutes to get through. It's just a fun little game. But anyways, so he would be just on the phone with me, guiding me through how to do like really simple stuff, and since then he gave me all the basic materials, and I just kind of took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And I taught myself how to make puppeted rigs. At the time, I didn't know what it was. For me, it was just like, oh, it would make more sense to make like pre-made drawings and put them together. And
well, I mean, when you're a kid, nobody really thinks about a puppet or a rig.
Yeah, I didn't know what any of that was.
Yeah.
But like I made like pre-made symbols and all that stuff, so I could flip through mouths and stuff. And
wow, for real?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
So
especially at that age.
Yeah, I don't know. But like so I would make like whole videos, and I would put it on YouTube, and I would constantly be thinking of like, okay, what character can I do next? What story can I tell? And and so I would dedicate like a lot of my time to that. And then high school rolls around, and you become angsty and you don't care about anything, and and then I kind of just fell off for a little bit. And I wanted to go into the Coast Guard because
Coast Guard. What's that again?
The Coast Guard is a branch of the United States military.
What? For real?
Yeah, they patrol the oceans and stuff.
Wow, you wanted to do? Holy shit, dude!
Yeah, so it's because I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to see.
Okay,
I wanted to see what more stuff was out there. Yeah, I still want to do it now, but as a kid, I felt like I got to get out of this town. I got to do more.
Yeah.
And so like it got to the point where like my parents took me to the the Coast Guard even had their own academy where you could go there, you could get a degree, like a college, but at the same time you'd still work your way as a private or a scrub and Coast Guard terms.
A scrub?
Yeah, scrub, yeah. or a swab. I don't know. I can't really remember the nomenclature. You fucking swab. Swab my ears, you fuck. But anyways, so I thought that was what I wanted to do. But then eventually, like, medical stuff happened. Like, I had to get an operation on my neck.
Yeah, that's right.
But it kind of woke me up, and I was like, shit, like, that's not who I'm supposed to. I don't know. I didn't feel like that was where I was supposed to be, and I felt this really strong. It's weird because, like, there would be many times where my dad would would help me look for colleges, and he'd be like, "Hey Zach, like, so there's Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida, and then there's Seneca and Sheridan up in Canada."
Yeah.
And going to school in Florida would have been perfect for me because pretty much all my family is there. So there's this wonderful net. You know, it's in my own home country.
Well, it's a bit more comfortable and a bit more...
It's way more comfortable.
Yeah.
But the problem was that it was so fucking expensive, right?
How much are we talking here?
We're talking like $70,000 for like 3 years, I think.
Fuck.
It was, yeah, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'd pray about it and I'd be like, God, I really don't want to go to Canada.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I said like,
Whoa, man. Oh.
No offense, but I just didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go that far. I'm like, God, please, like, I really don't want to go to Canada, but if I'm meant to go there, then I'll go. Sure enough, here I am. So, you know, Sheridan, too expensive. But Seneca, it was affordable, good program.
Yeah.
I applied, didn't get into animation, but I ended up getting into art fundamentals.
Yes.
So I spent some time there, or I did the full year. I learned a lot. I came back home, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought that I was going to do illustrations and stuff.
Yeah.
So I made a small caricature business, made some money off of that.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
So where would you go for that kind of stuff?
Well, at the time I was working at Chick-fil-A, and so I went to the people that I knew there, and I was like, hey, I'm doing this thing, you know, caricatures for this amount of money.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of people signed up for it, and I feel bad because I was I even though I learned a lot and I learned how to draw better, like I still was not good. And
well, I mean, yeah, but like, did people really mind?
No, they really didn't.
Awesome. Who cares?
I guess.
I mean, like, it's like, I understand, but like, you know, it's a learning thing for you, right? You have to start somewhere.
Absolutely. So all that time there, I was like, yeah, this is good, but it's not enough, right?
Yeah.
And I studied like different cartoons and stuff, and I'm like, shit, I gotta do this, because I remember being in AFD, and I would look up on the third floor in the T building and see all the animator kids, like, you know, they'd have their special card, and they'd like beep into the door and stuff, and I would look up at it, and I'd be like, damn, like I
need to be there.
I gotta go there. So I trained myself, like, and I worked like really, really hard. I did layouts and stuff, and eventually I did the test, and I got in eventually.
Success.
Yeah, success. So I went through the course like you, and I remember the first time I did the bouncing ball, and you know we did it on paper, and then we screenshot every one of them, played them back, and I remember seeing mine for the first time, and I'm like, this is it. This is
right.
This is what I got to do.
Yeah.
There was nothing that compared to the feeling that I created something that moved and felt alive.
Yeah, it kind of really is like watching magic before your eyes. And that's cheesy as fuck.
It is, but that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Animation feels like magic to me.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it on paper and you have no idea besides flipping what it actually looks like.
Yep.
Because, like, I find, like, sorry for diverging.
No, you're cool.
But, like, when you're doing animation digitally, which I do more now, because it's just way less of a hassle to have to get paper, get all that scanned in slowly on your computer. But, you know, like, that magic is not lost, but since everything's so instantaneous, you don't have to wait so long to see it fully done.
Yeah.
So you just keep pressing play. Oh, that doesn't work. And then you slowly change it. Okay, that works, but that could be... You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes, though, it still feels really cool to watch animations pay off. But
definitely.
Yeah, totally. So like, I was totally driven. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do this. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst. But I kept doing the best I could. Fast forward to third year, it came down to the wire. I still really didn't have my work permit yet.
Yeah.
Because I was still trying to figure out even how to get it in the first place.
That's probably pretty difficult.
Yeah. But eventually I figured it out. You know, obviously since I got a job now. But in the third year,
you figured it out?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Sorry, go on.
Did I not tell you?
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right, it's gone.
But anyway, so I did a test for 9 Story, and I sent it to them, and instantly they hired me. Basically, they offered me a job.
Wait, 9 Story?
Yeah, they offered me a job, and I was like, oh, awesome, like great. But only one thing: I don't have my work permit yet.
Oh, fuck! Right.
And they were like, "Yeah, no, like we can't do it." It's and so I'm like, "Okay, oh fuck. Well, you know, okay, that's reasonable. But you know, I will get it, and then I'll talk to you later about it." And they're like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
So at the same time, I talked to Novana because like
yes,
Barney took us there and. I got to show them my demo.
By the way, Barney is our our Toon Boom Flash animation teacher at Seneca.
Yeah, very very talented guy. He's
so crazy busy.
He's wacko, but
I don't. Yeah, that's definitely him.
He's a great guy though.
No, for sure, he is a real great guy.
Yeah,
super busy all the time. I don't know how he does what he does.
I don't know.
To be honest with you, like it's crazy.
Yeah,
like he manages so much.
Yep, but you know, somehow he does it.
Yeah, man. But anyway, what were we saying?
Yeah, no, it's cool. But anyway, so yeah, Novana, I ended up doing a test for them, and I got in. Before them, actually, I worked at this place called Beechwood Canyon Productions.
Oh yes.
And I worked on this project that I can't really say because it's not out yet. But that was fun. I was the only animator there,
which is bananas to me.
Yeah, but I mean, like for a production like that, like they didn't really need a full team. All they needed was me. And eventually, our good buddy George was hired onto the team because turns out it was too much for me.
One animator? Two? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How dare you? You just couldn't pull your own weight, huh?
I know. I was a lazy piece of shit.
Animation's so easy. I don't know how you can.
Just press the animate button. And...
Yeah. That's all there is to it.
So yeah. And then eventually, Novana hired me while I was working there. So I left Beechwood, did all my work there, left them, and moved on to Novana. I'm still
and that's where you currently are now.
So there you go, kids.
Yep, you're now on, what is it, Wishfart, was it? We talked about
Wishfart,
that last
yeah, we talked about it in the last episode.
Yep.
Yeah, Wishfart, it's a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, fucking just, whatever.
It's a journey, man. Do you ever like look back and kind of feel like, I mean, again, we're still relatively new here, but it's so crazy to imagine that, you know, we've came this far, and it's like you just look and sorry, I'm being a little weird right now. He just pointed
this is so fucking deep.
How much like time we actually spent on
this went on pretty long.
Yeah, but like last thing I'll say is like, you know, you just look back and it's just anyone who wants to do anything, like anyone wants to be anything, you could be. It's stereotypical, but you could really be whatever you're passionate about. Just don't worry about all of what you doubt about yourself. Don't that little voice in your head telling you that you're not great. Ignore that fucking thing.
Yeah, that's a fucking line. That self-doubt. And like,
I mean, everyone has it. I have it.
Yeah, I have it too. But like once you get past that and just look straight at what the job is and then just try and do it. Yeah. Like even if you fail, that's fine, because like there's an importance to learning from failure.
I mean, you have to fail.
Yeah, you have to fail. And like as long as, you know, people's lives aren't at stake, and as long as, you know, there's not a lot of money invested in it or whatever, like...
Well, I mean, once you're in a job, you definitely...
Yeah, okay, there's money invested there. Like, don't to fail.
Try not to fail at your job.
But to be honest, if you make a mistake at, like, in our jobs, like, even then, that's not the end of the world. No. They'll just tell you not to do it again. And,
exactly.
You know.
But yeah, basically, you can do whatever you want, and then you'll look back and be like, holy shit, I'm actually here. And it's a long journey, but, you know, that journey is definitely, you know, what gets you where you are, and, you know, it's a good story to tell.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways,
close us off, Zach. This has been Cartoon Casters. We're trying this music thing for a little while. Don't know how much longer it's going to go. But it's a thing. So enjoy this outro. I'm going to get some water. As I said the last episode, it's fucking hot in here. And I'm sweating the storm. So I'm going to go to the tap right now and get more.